Hello everyone, and this is my review for Monday Night Raw on February 8th, 2016. I almost said 15 again. I'm still messing that up every now and again, but this is for February 8th, 2016. And, overall, this Raw was relatively okay going into the Fastlane pay-per-view. And this review is mainly focusing around the storylines. I'm going to talk about the Daniel Bryan thing in a different video. Altogether. I don't feel like that needs to be clumped into the Raw review. But overall for this Raw, not a bad show. Honestly, Dean Ambrose came off a lot better this week. Not in the sense of him being beaten down or anything in that sense, but in the sense of promos. He came off more what his character is supposed to be, kind of out there. Maybe not insane, but lunaticish. A little bit of insanity, but kind of knowing what he's doing, getting himself into, but still kind of coming off as this wild man. And that was one thing that was lacking from his promos last week into his promos this week. I felt like he did a lot better job with his promos with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman and what he was doing throughout the night. I liked everything that they did with Dean Ambrose. I also like the aspect, yes, he gets beaten down by Brock Lesnar, but throughout the entire spot, he was getting back up. He's showing his toughness in some way, shape, or form, showing that it's going to take a lot more than what Brock Lesnar thinks to keep him down in any way. The aspect of him getting a low blow off of the distraction from Roman Reigns, that's kind of a little bit weird, but they had to try to give him something to get over a little bit in the terms of actually getting a little bit of his heat back or something in there instead of just being beaten down and showing off his, showing how tough he was about getting back up. Because he had been beaten down the week before, been beaten down pretty much throughout the entire show as well. So they try to give him something. I think that was a little bit weird and a little bit out there, but whatever. In that sense, overall, that segment of the show was pretty darn good. The Miz TV segment with Chris Jericho, I thought that was pretty good. I liked how Jericho hijacked it and made it the highlight reel out of nowhere. Just getting under the Miz's skin a little bit here and there. It came off relatively good. I like the aspect that even though Jericho and AJ Styles were feuding because AJ comes down in the middle of or at the end of the promo because they're setting up the match between Jericho and AJ Styles on SmackDown. So I like that aspect that even though the two of them start facing off, the Miz attacks, so both of them attack the Miz, get him out of the ring, and they go back to facing off, and then the Miz comes back in and he attacks them, and both of them attack, and they kept going through that throughout the entire thing. I liked where they came off on there. I like the Miz, honestly. He comes off so good as that arrogant guy. And just, the overall ability to garner heel heat. I know he's lower down on the card and everything, but he's still really good. I think he has been a really good character. But, they kind of have him where he needs to be, building guys in that sense. He's been there for a while, and that's what he does. He kind of puts over and builds other guys, and I like where they go with everything with him. The stuff with Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens, I thought, again, was pretty good. I guess they're trying to build up Dolph Ziggler for a mini feud with Kevin Owens before Kevin Owens gets his WrestleMania feud or something in that sense, so they give him another win this week. But this time they have him cheat to win. And they had Kevin Owens attempting to cheat to win before, but at the end of the match, Dolph Ziggler cheats, and that's something faces really don't do. And it's they can play off the tick for tat and everything that he tried it, so why not, and everything like that. But maybe it hints at maybe a small heel turn coming from Dolph Ziggler somewhere down the road. Maybe frustration over many losses and everything like that. Has to start cheating to win, and eventually becomes heel somewhere down the road. So we'll see where everything goes with that. The thing was Charlotte and Alicia Fox. Match was what it was. It was setting up the mini feud that is Brie Bella and Charlotte going into the Fastlane pay-per-view match. Okay, and then the aspect of her basically dominating a teammate of Brie Bella's in that match as well, kind of putting over Charlotte a little bit more going in there. It's like nothing special, but and the match itself is kind of blah. like Alicia did not come off. Alicia Fox did not come off well in this one. Neither did Charlotte, honestly. It takes two to make a good match in there, and neither one of them really did a good job with this one. But it is what it is. The stuff with Team Bad and Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. This is where they feel like people are going, where everything's going. They feel like it's going to be at WrestleMania. It's going to be Charlotte and Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. Those three in a match, triple threat. So they're kind of having them separate for the moment, going into the Fastlane pay-per-view, and probably going to try to bring them back together going into WrestleMania. So they have Becky Lynch and Sasha teaming up, which they had their team back in NXT as well, and they're going up against Naomi and Tamina at Fastlane. So you have Becky Lynch and Tamina here. Okay match, nothing spectacular here, but kind of builds up what they needed to do to have Becky and Sasha on their side, and Naomi and Tamina on theirs. So it did what it needed to do there. That's basically all that I have to say on that one. The Ryback versus Bray Wyatt match. Obviously, they have been working this mini feud going on for a little while. They've been, putting some mini feuds in there for Bray Wyatt to build him up for whatever match he has, which most people are feeling is going to be Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So they keep putting him in like these mini feuds. He's been feuding with Ryback. He gets the win pretty much clean here. No real distractions or anything from the Wyatt family. They just put Bray over a little bit big here, which wasn't a bad way. They do need to build him as a legitimate threat in some way, shape, or form going into WrestleMania. It will be interesting to see what they have for Fastlane, whether they have him have a match, or is he going to come out there during the triple threat, or where are they going to go with this in any way, shape, or form here. So this brings to the main event of the night, which I thought was a lot of fun. The main event match of the night. We all know it ended the show. And like I said, I'll talk about that in another video. But the New Day and Mark Henry versus the Dudleys and the Usos in a tag team table match. It was billed initially as just the Usos versus the New Day in a tables match, but eventually the Dudleys snuck their way in there and they made it like an 8-man, and then you saw a bit with a hilarious promo backstage with the New Day, doing calculations upon where they need to put people through the table and everything like that, and making songs about working on the table. And I thought it was a lot of fun. They got a bit with Renee Young, and then you saw the promo with Mark Henry, which I thought came off as a bit hilarious, and then the match itself. I like how, Mark Henry just looks like he's having a lot of fun out there right now. Most people know he's on his way out and everything, but looks like he's just having a lot of fun. I like how, technically he comes out as quote-unquote the heel, but then, turns face when the New Day starts giving him too many orders or something in that sense, and then walks out of the match and becomes face again. And I like the aspect here. I like the end of this match because it falls under two things to make it kind of make sense. The Dudleys get the 3D to win the match. And then after the match, they turn heel. So they get the win, so quote unquote, they can be like in a tag team title contention, but then they turn heel on the Usos. And I liked their heel turn. I thought it came off really, really good. I wouldn't say unexpected. The whole aspect of them, talking to the Usos and trying to get into the tables match and everything kind of led you to believe that they were going to turn heel, but you didn't know for an absolute fact until they actually did it at this portion of the show. I thought it came off really good. I like the Dudley Boyz turn. I thought it came off great, and maybe this will indicate that it's not just going to be the Usos versus the New Day. Maybe we'll have the Dudleys in there as well. And you have the whole aspect of that they were going after the New Day the moment they got back and everything like that, but they've kind of taken the back seat. Now they're trying to not take that back seat. I liked where they went with this. I thought it came off great. So overall, Raw this week wasn't too bad. Like I said, did hint in here that I wasn't going to talk about the Daniel Bryan thing, and I'm not. I'm going to put all my thoughts on that on a different video for you guys. But overall, outside of with everything else that happened with Raw, I thought it came off pretty good. It didn't come off great by any stretch, but they did a lot better job of setting up their stuff for the Fastlane pay-per-view here than they did last week. Last week I felt like it was just a complete throwaway. This week it felt like they were going somewhere with everything, and then they had a little bit of cohesion towards their storylines and where they needed to go. The stuff with AJ Styles and Chris Jericho and The Miz, I thought came off pretty good in there. Like I said, the promos with Dean Ambrose towards Brock Lesnar, the contract signing was actually kind of interesting. I like the aspect that just you have Dean Ambrose go face to face with Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar just takes him and chucks him over the table. Just chucks him over that table. I thought it came off really good. So, like I said, overall, pretty good show. They did a better job this week than they did last week, and that seems to be the par for the course with what they've been doing with Monday Night Raw. It's like one week they suck really bad, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, we can actually still be kind of good. But we'll see how they go with everything. They have one more Raw before Fastlane, and we'll see how everything goes with that. And that is my review for Monday Night Raw, and I thank you guys for watching.